Finish here, just got to the car. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2, and I can't believe the situation that we're in right now. I really cannot believe it. That was the most disgusting performance, the most disgraceful performance under the circumstances I have seen. Not with one bit of fight, not one bit of tactical nous, nothing. In that first half, we were getting toyed against by Newcastle. They scored a goal which was millimeters offside. That was lucky in itself, and then they do go on and take the lead, which they thoroughly deserved, by the way. Thoroughly deserved. They outplayed us in every metric that was possible in the first half. They, like I said, absolutely toying with us. Couldn't believe what I was watching. When you're looking at how much of a dire and a serious situation it is at Tottenham Hotspur right now, this is the way that you play from the off. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. No motivation in there whatsoever to go and grab the result, put us in a good position going into the second half. 1-0 could have been a lot more. We move on to the second half, and by the way, another injury for Tottenham Hotspur. Wilson Odegaard going off. This is just like every single game is injury after injury after injury. We can't last one game without someone going down injured. It's just ridiculous, seriously. This time it's Odegaard, so that's another one down from the forward line. I'm sure he's going to be out for the next month or so, however long it's going to be. But look, we move on to the second half. Again, we start the second half the same as we were in the first half. I thought we were poor. They came out the better side, but then we seemed to find something where we were able to pen them in, lock them in. Javi was running the strings a little bit in over a 15-minute period, and we got the goal. We got the goal, and I thought the goal was coming a little bit at that moment in time. Obviously, it did come from a corner. Archie Gray, big up to him. But as soon as we scored, back to type. Sitting back, getting dominated, Newcastle toying with us once again, and you just knew straight away, we couldn't even hold on for a minute. It's just ridiculous in such a big game for Tottenham Hotspur. As soon as that goal went in, you looked around the stadium and it was just like, wow. I think the reality was really starting to set in that moment in time in the stadium when we go 2-1 down, because all you're waiting for at that point is a West Ham goal. Then West Ham did score, and everyone's checked. It was like murmurings going around, like it was. I've never kind of felt that way in a stadium before. It was a really dreary atmosphere, long faces everywhere, people not knowing what to do with themselves, people that have never been in a situation like they're in right now, where at that point it was 3 points above relegation. I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe that West Ham were winning and Spurs were losing, and it was 3 points to gap, and Spurs were 3 points above relegation. It was scary, man. It was really scary. And every Spurs fan just wanted I think the stadium to just open and swallow them up whole. That's how depressing that stadium was at that moment in time. And obviously the game finished and it was still 1-0 to West Ham at that point. Luckily, Man United scored right at the death, and now Spurs are 5 points above relegation zone instead of 3, so it's something. But to know you're in that sort of precarious situation, and if that goal didn't come, we were within one game potentially of being level on points with the relegation zone. I think reality hit with some people today. I really did. Me and Sim have been talking about relegation for a few weeks now. We've been getting closer and closer as the weeks have gone by. But I think a lot of fans have been taking it as a bit of a joke. But when you go kind of 3 points, within the drop zone, I think that's when people start to realise, oh fuck, we're actually in this. Because I've heard from a lot of fans, Spurs too good to go down. Spurs are never going to go down. What are you talking about? Well, you're looking at it now. West Ham on form. 3 wins, 1 draw, and a credible draw against Manchester United, who are the form team in the league in their last 5 games. Leeds going to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and getting a point, and they're able to pull out results. Nottingham Forest not doing well, but they've won a game more recently than us. So you're looking at the candidates for the drop, and we're the worst ones. We have the worst form out of all the candidates for the drop right now. We've got 12 games left of the season, not much time left. So that form has got to change, and it's got to change very quickly if we are going to stay up. Because if we carry on in the same manner, if we show the same form in the last 12 games, in the next 12 games, we will go down. That's the reality. We will go down. That's how much of a serious situation that we're in. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. I can't believe that we're at a stadium and having to rely on West Ham to lose a game. It is mad. It is mad. And I don't know what more to say. Like, that stadium was probably the most empty I've ever seen it before. The high street before the game was the most empty I've ever seen it before. It was just... And ENIC only have themselves to blame. ENIC only have themselves to blame for that empty stadium, for that quiet high road. This was a Category A game, so that means in the South Stand lower, you had to pay north of £80 for a ticket today. £80 to see 16th against 15th or 14th, whatever it is, in the Premier League. That's how much it's costing you. When you look at down the road to Arsenal, to play Newcastle at home, to sit in the equivalent seats, you're paying £45, and they're top of the league. So of course, why are fans going to turn up and watch that shit for that much money? £85, and you got the rest. You know, you're going to get your food and drink, whatever. Taking a kid maybe. It becomes like an extortionate day out going to see Tottenham, as particularly yesterday, and it's just not worth it. ENIC only have themselves to blame. They saw that the Dortmund game was too high priced. They moved to Category B, albeit that was too high priced as well, but this, what they've got to realise, that they need the fans right now, and they need to put out an olive branch, at least change the ticket structure to a few cheaper tickets. But ENIC, they don't see it. They're so out of touch. Spurs could potentially go down here, and we're going to go down with empty stadiums as well, because our pricing of tickets are too high and no one wants to go and watch that shit show. It's just sad. It really is sad, the state of affairs at Tottenham. I don't recognise my club anymore. I really don't. How can we be so close to the drop after winning the Europa League last year, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, however long it is, we're in the Champions League final. 5 years ago, we're in the Champions League final, and now we're talking about relegation. It's sad, man. It really is sad. Those lot need to realise what kind of situation that they're in. Not only are they putting our club's reputation at risk, but they're putting their own reputation at risk as well. If you don't want to play for the badge, then you can fuck off, but at least you can try for yourselves from now to the end of the season and get us out of this shit. And as for the manager, he should have been sacked a long time ago. The club desperately needs a change. 2 wins in the last 17 games tells you that. However, who are you going to bring in at this stage of the season to come and get us out of the shit? Who'd you go for? Because I think the only viable candidate right now will be Ryan Mason. Can Ryan Mason do it? Can he get us those 3 wins that we need just to stay above water, just to stay in the Premier League? I don't know. I don't know what the best solution is moving forward for the rest of the season. But what I do know is that Spurs are in desperate need for a change. And this manager is the worst manager we've ever had in the Premier League era. Look at the situation that we're in right now. Everyone has to look at themselves deeply and harshly. The manager, the ownership, the players. Things need to change, and they need to change quick, and that's from all aspects of the 3 parties that I just spoke about. See you back in the studio tomorrow. Delve even deeper. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.